cooperation. The two leaders also engaged in bilateral talks with government officials from their respective governments. The discussions in general aim to further enhance collaboration in various sectors, including transport, infrastructure, trade and investment, plus immigration, regional integration, peace and security, and the fight against terrorism. At Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, President Museveni was received and seen off by Right Honorable Raila Odinga and other senior Kenyan government officials. On arrival at Entebbe International Airport, the President was received by the Head of Public Service and Secretary to Cabinet, Ms. Lucy Nachobe, the Deputy Commander of the Special Forces Command SFC, Brigadier General Charity Bainababo, and then Uganda Police Director of Human Resource Development AIGP Godfrey Goloba, the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons Samuel Ekena, and the Chief of Staff Air Force Brigadier General David Gonye. And of course, during his visit to Kenya, he took some time and honored the fallen heroes. First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has flagged off 18 outstanding Ugandan students and instructors who are traveling to Shenzhen, China to participate in Huawei Global ICT competition and Seeds for the Future program. The flagging off ceremony was held at State House, Nakasero.
Uganda is among the 7 countries that will be going for the global ICT competitions this year.
Among the 18 are 3 students, each from the universities of Gulu, Kabale and Muni, who are participating in the 2023-2024 Hawaii Global ICT competition this month. The competition will attract over 17,000 students from 93 countries across the globe. Others include 5 students from Makerere University, who are part of the 10 scheduled to participate in the 2024 Seeds for the Future program later this year. Mrs. Janet lauded the outstanding students and the team of instructors for demonstrating a strong commitment to excellence.
In a special way, with gratitude to God and a great pride, I would like to appreciate our students for the remarkable success registered in these global ICT competitions. I'm so proud of you, and I know your parents are just as proud as I am. I also thank you for choosing to accord our students this opportunity for exposure at a global level, since these challenges encourage them to broaden their knowledge and abilities in information technology, leading to more creativity and innovation in this area.
The Hawaii Seeds for the Future program was launched in Uganda in 2016 through the influence of President Museveni, with the aim of developing young local ICT talent. Since then, 40 Ugandans have benefited from hands-on training in Beijing and Shenzhen, China between 2016 and 2019. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, approximately 30 to 40 students have studied online each year from 2020 to 2023. Ambassador Zhang Lingjong said that under the strategic guidance of President Xi Jinping and President Museveni, the relationship between China and Uganda has made significant progress.
Huawei Uganda has really set a very good example for Chinese companies in Uganda, who not only look for profits for themselves, but also look for win-win results by giving back to the local community and its young generation. I believe today's flag-off will lead and motivate the Ugandan youth talents to great success in the competition in Shenzhen of China.
There we go. Flag-off is happening right now. Thank you so much, Mama.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
The government has commissioned the construction of a 480 billion road project in Yumbe district, West Nile. Part of the 103-kilometer road covers the district of Koboko, Yumbe and Moyo. Prime Minister Robin Anabanja commissioned the road that is going to link to neighboring countries of South Sudan and DRC to further facilitate trade.
Officially commissioned the construction of Koboko, Nyume, up to Moyo Road. I am happy to stand before you to commission the construction of this vital road, Koboko, Yumbe, Moyo, which is 103 kilometers. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the President of the Republic of Uganda for this milestone in our efforts to enhance our country's infrastructure and connectivity in Uganda, particularly in the areas of Koboko, Yumbe, and the Moyo district, West Nile in general.
People of West Nile, that please trust the government of NRM because it keeps its promises. Honorable Alioni, all the promises of NRM, as you can see, are being fulfilled. So this should give you hope that all that government is going to do for the people of West Nile are going to be fulfilled. Secondly, I want to call upon all of you, the people of West Nile, that the rest of the things like infrastructure development, the road, the schools and others, government is going to do them. But there's one thing that government is not going to do. Government is not going to just come and put money in each of your pockets every day. So now that you are getting this road that links you to South Sudan, that links you to the DRC and other parts of this region, now work very hard to make sure that this road becomes productive. Ensure that you have got something that you move to sell in these roads. You see, the road should be smoothened, the grader should start working tomorrow. And link the border to the border. That's not a suggestion, it's a directive. It's a directive. So Engineer Geek, that directive has to be implemented to the letter.
Now, the 5-day National Nutrition Forum 2024 has ended in Kampala, with different stakeholders pledging commitment and action to fight malnutrition. The third Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, represented the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, and urged stakeholders to scale up nutrition projects in order to reach the vulnerable population.
The third National Nutrition Forum 2024, held on the theme Unlocking Nutritionist Potential, Accelerating Multisectoral Actions and Strategic Investments for Enhanced Nutrition Security, has concluded with a consensus that malnutrition is still one of the biggest challenges the country is facing. Different stakeholders pledged commitments and actions geared at fighting malnutrition.
Technical support to tackle the additional vulnerabilities identified during the forum, including food insecurity and malnutrition among refugees, the impact of climate change on malnutrition, particularly in Karamoja sub-region.
You find that there is a malnourished mother that gives birth to a malnourished child, that forms a population of malnourished people, and again they become malnourished parents that give birth to malnourished children, and on and on. So we need to break this cycle to ensure that we are investing in the right nutritional strategies. Attitude, as somebody mentioned earlier, is also a very big challenge. We need our populations to adhere to food standards so that we can be able to get better nutrition.
The third Deputy Prime Minister, Lukia Nakadama, represented the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, and emphasized that nutrition programs need to be prioritized in the national development plans, and urged different actors to collaborate in ensuring that nutrition projects reach the vulnerable population.
I call upon our nutrition researchers and academicians to generate cutting-edge knowledge that will inform our efforts and ensure that our national nutrition agenda is evidence-based.
The line ministries also committed to working with different stakeholders to ensure that the challenge of malnutrition is addressed.
Some of the challenges, I think, that have been raised, particularly by the nutritionists, I think are going to be given attention so that this whole endeavor does not go to waste, but it is strengthened, and finally we have, in the end, a very healthy and well-developed population, which is very, very crucial towards the development of the country.
Food and nutrition security concerns are mainstreamed in economic empowerment and social protection programs, including social assistance grant for empowerment, SIGE, targeting the population aged 80 years and above. Social enterprises grant for older person, SIGOP, targeting a population of 60 to 79 years.
The forum came up with various recommendations, among them the need to address low uptake of biofortified crop varieties and expediting the review of the Uganda food and nutrition policy to guide programming. Adiana Kute, UBC.
Now, the Midwest Diocese, involved in the preparations of Martyrs' Day, has a deficit of 1.6 billion shillings in the final touches, to pull off the much-anticipated Martyrs' Day celebrations at Namugongo Anglican Martyrs site. The deficit followed the fundraising dinner where over 100 million was collected from individuals and different organizations, as we hear more in this report.
All roads come 3rd June this year will be leading to Namugongo as Christians commemorate the 45 martyrs. As per the Anglican site, the Midwestern cluster dioceses, including Renzori, Bunyoro Kitala, West Renzori, East Renzori, South Renzori and Masindi Kitala, are leading the organization. The budget of 2.1 billion is required to organize that day, At the Anglican Namugongo Matters site, with the need to get the money, the organizing committee is using whatever it takes to raise the funds. Among them was the fundraising dinner organized in Kampala. At the dinner, which was attended by different stakeholders, organizations and individuals, funds mounting to 100 million was collected. The chief fundraiser, Tom Butime Attain, Minister for Tourism and Antiquities, contributed 20 million towards the move.
And please let us do our best to make sure that 3rd June succeeds. And those who will come to attend will now say that cluster did a good job. And we are therefore tasked to assist the cluster, to assist the organization, to assist the Wenzori diocese, plus all the sister dioceses succeed, and we cannot fail.
Right Reverend Elfaz Mali, the retired Bishop of Kampala Diocese, used this platform to explain the importance of Matters Day and asked for public support.
And so these matters serve as our examples to follow in our faith, and also ensure us that it's not easy to follow Christ. And as Jesus said, anyone wants to follow him, he must carry his cross and follow him.
Beatrice Kiraso, who led the fundraising dinner, disclosed to UBC the remaining balance to have a colorful day.
It means that we are dealing here with a deficit of more than 1 billion, right? So 100 million is nothing compared to what we need, which is about 1 billion to fulfill our pledge. These people that were here have got relatives, they have got friends, they have got offices that they work in. So one of the initiatives is by word of mouth.
Chilaso also highlighted the importance of Matters Day to the country. With this, he called for more support from the public.
Matters Day is something for Ugandans. Yeah? It's something that we should all embrace and support. This is a gathering that is close to none other. A gathering that brings people together at one go. This is the biggest ever. Because even when people go to Namugongo, they will need to sit. That means chairs. They will need a shed. That means tents. That means hiring. They will need refreshments. They will need security. You find that here and there, because of the extra need for security, there is some allowance that you have to pay.
Uganda Matters Day is the day when Christians, including Anglican, Catholic and Muslims from across Uganda and outside, gather at Matters sites in Namugongo to commemorate the 45 Christians who were murdered on orders of Kabaka Mwanga, Deborah Namamonde, Ivan Juko, UBC News.
Now, the UPDF spokesman, Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, has revealed that the missing bodyguard to the Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi, Captain Edward Sempija, has not been on job close to 2 weeks, and his whereabouts remain unknown. Kulaije says UPDF has constituted an investigative committee to trace the whereabouts of Captain Sempija.
Kabaka Ronald Muwenda Mutebi's security details captain, Edward Sempija, remains missing for 2 weeks now, a matter that is now raising public concerns about his whereabouts. UPDF spokesperson Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, speaking in an interview, revealed that Captain Sempija left his office without anyone's notice and will have to account for his disappearance when found or risks being declared a deserter after the expiry of 21 days.
About 14 days ago, Captain Sempija disappeared. And according to the military, if you are away from your duty station for 8 days, you are absent. And if it goes up to 21 consecutive days, then you are declared AWOL, AWOL in capital letters, meaning away without official leave.
Brigadier General Kulaije also revealed that a team of investigators from CMI and other sister security agencies has been dispatched to trace for Captain Census, and once found, he'll be charged before the military court-martial for absconding from duty without permission.
So, 7 days from today, it will be declared a war. And if you are declared a war, you are struck off strength of the EPDF. 1, 2, the board of inquiry will be instituted to investigate why Captain Census disappeared.
Now, the State Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs, Dr. Balam Barugahara, has noted that just within weeks into his tenure, warfare
moved. The day the president appointed me, I told him I'm going to look for the problems. I want to listen to young people. What is their problem? So I've moved around the country. I started with Masindi, Bunyoro. From Bunyoro, I went to Chikuwe. From Chikuwe, I proceeded to northern Uganda, to West Nile, to Arua. I had a meeting in Nebi.
In Padel and the neighboring districts, the level of teenage marriages, according to Minister Dr. Balam Barugahara, is alarming.
I visited Padel, where I met young children who are now mothers. At 13, 14, 15, they have 2 to 3 children. So that is a problem. That's not good.
This, according to Balam, doesn't stop in West Nile and other areas. It is the same story in Busoga sub-region.
Actually, I went also to Uyende in Busoga, where I found the biggest population of over 52% of school-going children, girls. They have been forced into marriage. They are either mothers, they are either divorced, they are just there, single mothers, and even they are single mothers. But also there are other challenges. Young people don't have jobs. Young people don't have skills. And remember, our population, we make 78%. So here is Mr. Fixer. Pray for me, we need to fix the problem together.
Like it has been always said that poverty is the beginning of every evil, for this Balam gives testimony.
So I asked them their challenges, what is forcing them there? Then they told me their parents want wealth. Then I asked them how much do they get? A cow and a bucket of millet. We visited also the children detention center where children are kept. I also found their challenges. Children are detained without blankets and bed sheets.
Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Fellow countrymen and forte, it is important that resources. I therefore would like to announce the 6th National Population and Housing Census that will start on the 10th of May 2024. The information from the National Population and Housing Census will support government, the private sector, cultural and religious institutions, civil society, and development partners in service delivery. It will also provide the basis for planning the provision of social services such as education, health, and transport, among many others, at the national and local levels. When data collectors or enumerators come to your home during the census, please avail yourselves and provide them with honest answers to their questions. This is in order to enable them to process the most accurate information about you, your household, institutions, and community. I therefore call upon all political, cultural, and religious leaders, private sector players, civil society, the media, and the institutions of the government to support this key national program. The successful execution of this census will influence the well-being of all Ugandans and progress the country towards the desired socio-economic transformation. I wish you all a successful census for God and my country.
Uganda's biggest tourism and travel trade show of the year is here again. The 8th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2024 under the theme Responsible Tourism will be taking place at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2024. It's your chance to connect with tourism and travel professionals from across the globe. Discover travel holiday deals, packages, and so much more. Visit www.poate.co.ug to register and be part of the event. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board.
Welcome back. Now, as we continue, Parliament has approved 72.1 trillion shillings national budget for financial year 2024-2025. The budget was initially 58 trillion, but then increased by 13 trillion Ugandan shillings, with Uganda's public debt taking the lion's share, accounting for the 34 trillion shillings. Let's hear more in this report.
In the next financial year, government is planning to borrow 28.7 trillion from local commercial banks to fund the 72 trillion national budget, which is higher than the initial 15.4 trillion government had planned to borrow from local banks. While moving a motion for adoption of the budget, Henry Musasi, the State Minister for Finance in charge of general duties, revealed that the budget will be financed through domestic revenue of 31.982 trillion.
Seconded by the Hollow House.
Budget support of Uganda shillings 1.394 trillion, petroleum fund transfers of Uganda shillings 115.37 billion, domestic refinancing of Uganda shillings 8.968 trillion, and local revenue from local governments of Uganda shillings 293.9 billion. Right, Honorable Speaker, these resources will be utilized by all the 20 NDP3 programs.
In his minority report that was signed by 3 members of the Budget Committee of Parliament, Ssemujju Ibrahim Nganda, the Shadow Finance Minister, warned government against excessive borrowing. He also asked fellow legislators to trim the budget by reducing on public expenditure.
Them pay for our needs before they look to their own futures. We therefore invite Parliament to reject the proposal to finance next financial year's budget through excessive borrowing. The government is seeking to borrow. It has actually now increased with the Corogen. The estimates referred to the committee, they were seeking to borrow 25.5 trillion to finance the budget, which represents 43% of the total resource envelope. Please take note, the Corogen now has put debt servicing at 34 trillion. The total revenue correction projected next year is 31 trillion. 47% of your budget is to service the dead. I have seen.
Theodore Sechkubo, the Remiyaga County MP, was concerned that 72 trillion budget was being passed without going through the right procedures of the rules that govern the House.
Has read, and ordinarily it's an amendment. Yes, it's an amendment, and he's the mover. At which stage probably would have considered in the first place. But he's...
And he's supposed to come and concede now.
Yes.
I have not called him yet.
Yes, but at this stage, at this first minute, still conceding to an amendment.
A similar view was raised by Mwanga Chivombi, the Butambala County MP, and also chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament.
For the first time, for as long as I've been here, it is the first time I've encountered a budget report that does not establish a discretionary budget. It's for the first time in the history of this country. And why that is so is because these figures cannot balance.
Recommended payment of ex gracias to all LOCs and councillors. And we said we will not pass the budget until some of those items are considered. So part of the items, so the Minister of Finance picked the recommendation of the sectoral committees, went and sat in cabinet, and came up with a corrigenda to consider our request. And one of the items, ex gracias for my LOC3s, councillors in Toro County North. How do I stand here, Madam Speaker, to say the government of Uganda has done bad to provide money for ex gracias for LOC3s, Madam?
The budget is being drafted under the theme Full Monetization of the Ugandan Economy through Commercial Agriculture and Industrialization, Expanding and Broadening Services, Digital Transformation and Market Access.
Ugandans have been advised to always seek effective medication against malaria disease by going strictly to recognized hospitals or health facilities that are referral, but also to ensure adherence to the medication as much as possible. Let's hear more from this report.
Between January 2021 and December 2023, Makerere University College of Health Science carried out a study to establish the drivers of the increasing anti-malarial drug resistance among Ugandans that currently stands at 20%, surpassing the World Health Organization mark of 10%. Dr. Moses Ochan, a senior lecturer of pharmacology at Makerere University College of Health Science, was the lead researcher.
From the laboratory work that we did, we found parasites that are not responding to artemisinin medications. Also in the communities, when we interviewed communities, over 30% of the individuals we interviewed noted that they don't get symptom resolution every time they take this medication.
But shocking of them all is that close to 20% of the anti-malarial drugs on the market are substandard, indicating that some Ugandans are being duped into taking mere starch instead of the required content for medication.
We looked at the label claim. So we say this medicine is 20 milligrams, drug X, 120 milligrams, drug Y. So we went and assessed, is 20 milligrams actually there in these medications? And what we found that artemisinin component to which resistance is developing much faster in Uganda, most of the times the medicines have less content than what is in the label claim, with one of the brands having nearly nothing on the tablet. And we assessed this we repeated almost 5 times, we still found nearly nothing. The artemisinin component and the lumefantrine component were close to zero.
This revelation was received with a pinch of salt, with some stakeholders questioning the role of the National Drug Authority.
I would have taken legal suit against the manufacturer of that company. We need to take that seriously. I think you cannot sell starch. I know starch is food, but that was it. Starch cannot treat the parasites. So I think we need to be very serious as Ugandans.
It is for this reason that health experts have cautioned Ugandans to take more precautions on where they seek medication, in addition to the need to fasten adherence to medication.
But also for the communities to avoid the practice of taking sub-therapeutic doses, which is a very common practice. You find people go and buy less than full dose of the treatment, buy 5 tablets, 7 tablets instead of 24.
This is backed with a call to duty bearers to up their game as regards to shielding Ugandans from substandard medicines that could be on the market.
We should up our game on making sure that the drugs that come into the country are very quality tested, and that we tighten on poor quality drugs making it to our drug shops and outlets.
Reacting to this, some officials from National Drug Authority who sought to remain anonymous blamed the issue of porous borders as the main access points for substandard medicines on the market. According to statistics, malaria remains the leading cause of sickness and death in Uganda, as it accounts for up to 40% of all outpatient visits, 25% of hospital admissions, and 14% of all hospital deaths. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Now, State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has called for investigations into conducting for Mukono RDC Ndisaba Fatuma for alleged rights violations. The decision followed Minister Mayanja's visit to Mpoma village in Mukono district, where the RDC Ndisaba is accused of conniving with rich men to illegally acquire land.
The alleged fraudulent acquisition of land is on Plot 25, Block 95, Mpomachagwe. Mr. Mayanja expressed disappointments in the conduct of district security officers and the RDC, who declined to provide security ahead of his arrival.
Especially for my husband. He got to a place where he was thinking, why should I? For something that I genuinely purchased. With money that I did not steal, I worked hard, and someone comes and says, you have defrauded. And for us, honestly speaking, when we went to all these offices for help, we thought the people that should have given us justice were not. Bangi mwere tuwide, nzije mwere zikorera muhuzi. Mwere mwanya gaba mwena. Abaranga gira mwanya gaba generezi. Mwere mwere mwanya gaba mwena. Mwere mwere
During his visit, Mr. Mayanja discovered significant misconduct among local security officers and RDC of Mukono. He directed their conduct in fraudulent land transactions be investigated. Mr. Mayanja also ordered for the removal of the village chairman Surugo Ponciano and confiscation of his official stamp used in fraudulent land transactions. Residents shared accounts of Nantume and her associates destroying property and assaulting individuals on the contested land.
It's a constitutional right. Article 26 of the Constitution guarantees you ownership, and the government will protect you to have quiet enjoyment of your land.
We do apologize for that technical glitch. Now, as we move forward, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majeze, has ordered all local government leaders, including accounting officers, to vacate all stalls currently occupied by those who hold multiple stalls in the local government markets, in line with the presidential directive issued on the 1st of May 2024.
The Ministry of Local Government, through the MATIF project phases 1 and 2, initiated the construction of markets in numerous districts across Uganda. The goal is to reduce poverty and spur economic growth by enhancing the commercialization of agricultural produce and other merchandise. Currently, 21 markets in 21 districts are complete and operational.
The third issue is of the markets that we built under the African Development Bank loan. Yesterday we held a meeting with the mayors and town clerks of the 18 municipalities and cities. We cannot continue without getting data on how these investments are performing.
However, the President pointed out on May 1st that these markets are now dominated by the rich, who own 2 or 3 stores each, thereby marginalizing the local poor. Reacting to this, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, during the Labour Day celebrations in Fort Portal, ordered the Vice President and the Minister for Local Government to address the imbalance.
The rich people have taken over the markets and displaced the Banaku who were selling in those areas before we built the markets. That's a big issue, which I directed the Vice President, who is here, to take up with the Minister of Local Government.
In the quarterly meeting organized by the Ministry of Local Government to evaluate service delivery, Minister Majezi urged leaders to resolve the issue of the rich-occupying market stores made for the poor.
Anybody who may be in the new markets wrongly, if you don't qualify, because the new markets are supposed to have been occupied by the vendors who were there before they were demolished, as a priority. And they are nursery beds for the little businesses, so that they can graduate to big businesses, go and set up their own shops or open their own supermarkets and so on. But they are not supposed to be for the big people in the municipalities or cities.
Majezi is set to visit these markets next week for a first-hand assessment as per the presidential directive.
So we met the Vice President last week, and this week, yesterday actually, we met all the mayors and town clerks of the affected municipalities. There are 21 of them. And next week, we are sending teams to go and investigate this matter, market by market.
To facilitate better transportation of goods to these markets, the government has allocated 1 billion shillings to each district for road maintenance, fulfilling its pledge for the financial year 2022-2023.
This year, His Excellency the President directed us to give 1 billion shillings to each district, each municipality and city for road maintenance. And the guideline which we agreed on with Parliament and Cabinet, that this money is not for opening up new roads. It is really to cover as much ground as possible in terms of making our roads motorable, the existing roads. So that's why we call it maintenance.
However, some districts are improperly using these funds for road reconstruction instead of maintenance, according to the minister.
When you talk of rehabilitation, it's different from road maintenance. Now, we've got reports in a number of areas. Some of them have used the money for only half a kilometer, 1 kilometer, open up new roads. That is not right. So I'm just cautioning them because both Cabinet and Parliament are already taking keen interest in this one, and we shall require a report from each cow and town clerk at the end of the financial year. How many kilometers have you covered with 1 billion? We started with 500 million. We've now disbursed an extra 500 million. So they have the money, 1 billion. Government has stuck to its promise. So we expect a report on how many kilometers have been covered with this 1 billion shillings.
Additionally, over 160 laptops have been distributed to district leaders to enhance the success of the Parish Development Model, PDM.
We have developed a system called the Parish Development Management Information System, and it required computers because, one, we need to ensure that we track progress of the disbursements from below, and two, we need to track progress of the indicators of our performance right from the parish. So
the Cabinet has also declared that revenue collection will remain at district level to improve service delivery, which is expected to lead to further enhancements in the local government services.
And previously, the system, actually the collection was not doing very well, but now that we have been enrolled on ILAS, this other system, we hope now we shall collect more revenues, and these other revenues will of course be appropriated by the district council, allocated to specific and priority areas, and we shall make sure we use the local revenues much smaller as it will be, but the local revenue will be utilized very well.
Justin Nakami, UBC News.
MTN Mama kutusa Usi live in concert kujahazi PM nyonyo Mo hip hop kuna rubale Wakanga 18 Mei 2024 Ena fefe bosi weekend Kama goma rapo na nyini freestyle Jangola mwana wakulu kutebika munganiga sasa liva mchamba Misana na chinoga tuli marapu melele Pokinge mtuale bidi Vyebi mtuale tano Emeza kakande Emeza vibia milioni satu Downloading MTN Momo app Osaliwe kebitula tano kubulichi 10 kutiketi Woguli kwa MTN Momo Tiketi ya gula mtuale gumo Ade VIP Ebini chitundu Tunina debote cruise See you looking Mitedwa musente MC MTN Momo Givo establishment the angry management
We're glad you're still tuned onto the only channel that tends to inspire you. Let's turn onto the business world, where Uganda is poised to become a leading destination for business process outsourcing (BPO) in Africa, leveraging digital transformation to drive economic growth and youth employment. This ambitious goal was announced at a recent BPO consultative meeting in Jinja, where government officials, private sector leaders, and industry experts gathered to discuss the country's BPO potential.
Jinja's resident district commissioner, Richard Grume, emphasized the importance of embracing technology to transform Uganda's economy. He was speaking during the Jinja Regional Stakeholders Consultation Workshop on business process outsourcing organized by the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. Gideon Nkoronungi, CEO is Sitayu, said the company is providing targeted training and professional development to different stakeholders, advocating for world-class ICT infrastructure and championing policies that make it easier to conduct global business.
But it is saying by 2028, government services are going to be at 90%, all of them online. There's going to be broadband coverage of 90%, and government is already doing this. Now, the private sector does not know much about the digital transformation roadmap. They are just seeing things go online, and they're saying, no, we businessmen are not ready. No. But do we know the digital transformation roadmap? I feel the gap has been resolved by the digital roadmap. We as the private sector should be much ready, and we should make it our toolkit to understand what is government thinking and how can we utilize that for business opportunities that are available because of the digital transformation roadmap.
The Ministry of ICT has developed a comprehensive business process outsourcing policy and strategy aimed at creating thousands of jobs for young people and contributing significantly to Uganda's GDP growth.
We are currently tabling the business process outsourcing policy in Cabinet, and this will be a tool that will help us move with us as we go to the other economies.
To support business process outsourcing growth, the government has put in place initiatives like tax exemptions, financial flexibility, training, and research expenditure allowances. The private sector is encouraged to work together with government to create a positive environment for growth and development.
No one went to Microsoft and told them to produce Microsoft. They produced it, they innovated. It is being used by 70% of the world. They innovated and sold it. We innovated EGP, and we are now thinking of selling it to Zambia because they are interested in it.
That's another question that we must understand. So that we leaders, we walk the talk of IT, ideology, and transformation.
Elena Mutamba, the tourism minister for the Busoga Kingdom, asked the Ministry of ICT to set up public Wi-Fi hotspots around tourist destinations in Jinja City and other areas in Busoga to help boost the country's tourism potential.
Information and also interact. Let me tell you, data is expensive, like they were saying. If you want to know that data is expensive, you put on 1,000 and get how many MBs? 160 something MBs. They will go run them through TikTok and what? 30 minutes. That is gone.
Embracing digital transformation and BPO, Uganda can access new markets, improve efficiency, and increase productivity, leading to economic growth and development. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Gear up, grab your running shoes and join the race for life. Run 42, 21 or 5 kilometers to equip Kisoro Hospital's very first ICU. Then, after the finish line, groove all night at the ultimate dance showdown with DJs and performers from Uganda and Kigali. Secure your sport at virungamountainmarathon.org and be a part of history. Save the date, June 1st, 2024 at Shaza Ground, Kisoro Town. Race for a cause. Run for life.
We've hit refresh with Castle Light. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label for a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh Newcastle Light.
Into sports, Uganda's Secondary School Sports Association has flagged off Kawempe Muslim Secondary School and St. Mary's School Kitende for the CAF Pan-African School Football Championships in Zanzibar. The championship is for players aged under 15 years. Let's hear more.
By virtue of being East African Games champions, the St. Mary's Boarding School Kitende and Kaimpe Muslim Senior Secondary School earned the right to represent Uganda at the CAF Pan-African Schools Championship. The teams have been flagged off to the championship that is a reserve for players under 15 years.
As these teams are doing well in schools at national and East Africa level and central region level and at world level, it gives us opportunity that they are going to come with experience into a national team. And therefore now, as Ugandans, the sports fraternity, we should be sure that we have where to pick people to come to join in the national team who have expertise, who have experience, and who have been trained for a long time.
St. Mary's Boarding School Kitende with players like Trevor Mobiru, Brian Luwaga, Adrian Mukwanga and Isaac Senkungu were representing the boys' football.
And this time we are ready to go to represent Uganda in the Continental Championship that is prepared in Zanzibar. And by the end of May, we shall be back with the trophy.
Shadia Nabiri, Tracy Nabalanzi, Cynthia Kirenga and Haira Nabosa are some that Kawempe Muslim Secondary School will look to in the girls' football.
I think we are going to win because we are so much prepared, and I think if God is on our side, we shall bring both trophies at home.
The winning school gets a $100,000 token that it directs towards a project at its institution. In line with the Uganda Secondary School Sports Association Capacity Building Program, the contingent includes media personnel and a referee. The tournament will run between 21st and 25th May 2024 in Zanzibar.
Now, after the Sri Lanka tour, the Cricket Cranes team is back in the country and they are finalizing their World Cup preps ahead of their maiden appearance in less than 3 weeks. Let's hear more from Kemi Gisa.
With less than 3 weeks to their first game at the 2024 ICC T20 World Cup, where they will be appearing for the first time, the Cricket Cranes team is hyped up and finalizing preparations after a recent trip to Sri Lanka.
It's a young bunch, and we have got a mix of youngsters and experienced players are there, and I'm really excited the way the boys are shaping up. We are trying to work on their mindset and their skill sets also, to get used to and to understand that pressure which we are going to face in the ICC event. And definitely we tried at the moment, the first thing is we should try and make a mark in the world cricket. Yes, we are there not to represent, we are there to compete.
On their time in Sri Lanka and the selected squad to do the job at the global stage, the skipper Brian Masaba had this to say.
It's basically about fine-tuning our skills. Just making sure our plans and role definitions are very clear heading into the World Cup, because that's very important for the players as well to understand where they fit into the team. They selected the best 15 men to get the job done at the time, and I back them to go out there and do the job.
In terms of the general feel of the camp, we spoke to newly appointed Vice Captain Riazat Alisha, returning wicket-keeper Fred Achalam and legendary spin bowler Frank Nsubuga, who will be the oldest player on the team and at this year's World Cup at the age of 43 years.
Now we are excited. We are excited to go and see where our levels are standing and where we can go and compete with the big teams. A lot of performance for the team and show the world that where Uganda is, how Uganda cricket is improving now, developed.
A dream come true for me, and with a lot of hard work and believing, I think it was the right time to make a cut. Staying out for 1.5 years, trying to find my way back into the team, and I believe this has been a very good timing for me.
Uganda being at the World Cup means at least Uganda has qualified in the World Cup, and it's very good for Ugandan cricket, and also to see the next generation going there maybe in the near future coming. First of all, me myself, I want to go there. If I have a game, I want to do every game I want to do well, and also because T20 is not an easy game, but I want to go there, and every game I try my best.
The action behind me tells you that this cricket team is ready to take on their counterparts at the global stage. This will be a historical moment for Uganda as they make their maiden appearance at the T20 World Cup stage. The team will be traveling out of Uganda next Wednesday, and they will start with warm-up games against Namibia and Scotland before they start their campaign against Afghanistan on the 4th of June 2024. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
Well, once again, thank you so much for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango. Mugalu Mohammed has been with us on sign language. From the entire news team, it's a good night.